It's not exactly clear why, but judging from its guest list this week, Jimmy Kimmel Live seems poised to party like it's 1985. On tap are music performances from Christopher Cross, Men at Work, Howard Jones, Debbie Gibson, and Susanna Hoffs of the Bangles, each a defining name from the decade of synths, shoulder pads, and MTV Kimmel's Couch won't be short on 80s icons either. Eddie Murphy, Mike Tyson, Mr. T. Morgan Fairchild, and Jason Bateman, who first rose to fame as a child actor on the sitcom Silver Spoons, are all slated to appear. Even George Clooney, who played handyman George Burnett on The Facts of Life before his ER days, is set to stop by. ABC hasn't offered any explanation yet for the 80s-centric guest list, but the nostalgia is unmistakable. It wouldn't be the first time Jimmy Kimmel Live has leaned into the decade. During the 2021 Live in Front of a Studio Audience special that recreated the Norman Lear-produced 80s series Different Strokes and The Facts of Life, the show aired a clever promo that paid homage to ABC's 1980s look and sound. Grainy video, chunky graphics, and a sound-alike for announcer Ernie Anderson made it feel straight out of the Reagan era, and Kimmel's guest that night happened to be the same one appearing tonight, George Clooney. In a television landscape perpetually chasing the new, the next, and the now, Jimmy Kimmel has thrown a delightful wrench into the machine, seemingly commandeering a DeLorean for a full-throttle journey back to the 1980s. This week, Jimmy Kimmel Live is staging what can only be described as a meticulously curated week-long tribute to the decade of big hair, bold colors, and even bigger pop culture. While ABC has yet to issue an official explanation, the guest list for the week speaks for itself, echoing with the unmistakable synthesizer beats and star power of a bygone era. The lineup is so densely packed with icons from the period that viewers might feel they need to adjust their rabbit ear antennas. The musical performances alone read like a vintage MTV playlist pulled straight from 1985. The week features the smooth, yacht rock sounds of Christopher Cross, the new wave reggae of Men at Work's Colin Hay, the intelligent synth pop of Howard Jones, the bubblegum perfection of Debbie Gibson, and the sun-soaked jangle pop of Susanna Hoffs, the iconic frontwoman of the Bangles. It's a sonic time capsule representing a cross-section of the decade's diverse and enduring musical landscape. But the nostalgia trip doesn't stop at the stage. Kimmel's guest couch is set to host a who's who of 80s film, television, and cultural royalty. The legendary Eddie Murphy, whose meteoric rise from SNL to box office king with films like Beverly Hills Cop and Coming to America defined an era of comedy, is slated for a seat. He'll be joined by the formidable presence of Mike Tyson, the undisputed heavyweight champion whose dominance and drama captivated the sports world. The inimitable Mr. T, whose mohawked, gold chain persona as B.A. Baracus in the A-Team became a global phenomenon, is also on the docket. The small screen's leading ladies and gents are well represented too. Morgan Fairchild, the quintessential soap opera and primetime villainess whose glamour graced shows like Flamingo Road and Falcon Crest, will bring a dose of classic drama. And representing the decade's beloved sitcoms is Jason Bateman, who first charmed the nation as a child actor on the foundational 80s series Silver Spoons before his career renaissance in the 21st century. Even George Clooney, a modern-day Hollywood titan whose roots are firmly planted in the 80s for his role as the handsome handyman George Burnett on The Facts of Life, is set to appear, completing a circle that began decades ago. Decoding the retro riddle, why now? The burning question on the minds of industry watchers and fans alike is, what is the occasion? ABC's silence on the matter has only fueled speculation. The most plausible theory is a covert, week-long promotion for an upcoming Live in Front of a Studio Audience special. The franchise, executive produced by Norman Lear and Jimmy Kimmel himself, has previously recreated iconic episodes of 70s sitcoms like All in the Family and Good Times. A pivot to the 1980s would be a logical and exciting next step, with this star-studded week serving as the ultimate soft launch. The evidence for this theory is compelling. The Live in Front of a Studio Audience special in December 2021 broke new ground by recreating episodes of two iconic 80s Norman Lear-produced sitcoms, Different Strokes and The Facts of Life. For that event, Jimmy Kimmel Live aired a brilliantly crafted promo that was a masterclass in nostalgia, perfectly mimicking the grainy video quality, chunky graphic design, and even featuring a sound-alike for ABC's legendary 80s announcer, Ernie Anderson. The guest on Kimmel's show that very night, George Clooney, reprising his connection to the series. His return this week, amidst a sea of other 80s icons, feels less like a coincidence and more like a strategic callback. Beyond a specific special, the move taps into a powerful and persistent cultural trend. Nostalgia is more than a feeling. It's a potent market force. The 1980s have experienced a remarkable renaissance over the past decade, driven by the millennial generation's affection for the era of their childhood. This is reflected in the runaway success of shows like Stranger Things, the box office power of legacy sequels like Ghostbusters, Afterlife and Top Gun, Maverick, and the constant sampling of 80s synth sounds in modern pop music. By assembling this lineup, Jimmy Kimmel Live isn't just booking guests, it's tapping directly into a collective cultural memory, guaranteeing a week of high engagement and viral, shareable moments for an audience that craves the comfort of the familiar. A deeper look. The cultural resonance of the chosen icons. The genius of this particular lineup is not just its star power, but its curation. This isn't a random assortment of 80s faces. It's a collection that represents the decade's multifaceted identity. Christopher Cross and Men at Work. They represent the zenith of yacht rock and new wave, respectively genres that have seen a massive revival in recent years. Their music evokes a specific laid-back yet optimistic California cool and quirky Australian sensibility. Howard Jones and Debbie Gibson. Jones brought a philosophical, tech-friendly approach to synth-pop, while Gibson embodied the teen idol, crafted from the brill-building model updated for the MTV generation. Together, they showcase the decade's embrace of both cerebral and pure pop electronic music. Susanna Hoffs. As the lead of the Bangles, Hoffs was at the center of the Paisley Underground and the jangle pop movement, which itself was a nostalgic look back at the 1960s. Her presence adds a layer of retro-on-retro appeal. The guest cohort. The combination of Eddie Murphy's street-smart cool, Mr. T's cartoonish bravado, Mike Tyson's raw athletic intensity, and Morgan Fairchild's glamorous scheming paints a perfect picture of the decade's larger-than-life personalities in film, television, and sports. A history of retro affection. This week-long event, while unprecedented in its scale, is not Kimmel's first flirtation with the decade. His show has consistently demonstrated an affinity for 80s culture, often using it as a reliable wellspring for comedy and tribute. From recurring segments that riff on classic television tropes to interviews that lovingly delve into an actor's early work, the program has never been shy about its nostalgic leanings. The 2021 promo was a love letter to the very medium of television that shaped Kimmel's own career, proving that his appreciation is both genuine and expertly executed. Whether this week is a cleverly disguised marketing campaign for a larger ABC event or simply a bold, ratings-savvy programming stunt, its impact is undeniable. In an era of fragmented audiences and endless content choices, Jimmy Kimmel Live has managed to create a must-see television event by looking backward. It's a testament to the enduring power of the 1980s and a masterclass in programming that understands the deep emotional connection audiences have with the pop culture of their youth. For 1 week, the Jimmy Kimmel Live studio lot in Hollywood will be the epicenter of a neon-drenched, synth-powered time warp, and a generation of viewers is ready to party like it's 1985.